Hey Empress Club, how are you guys? This is a video just for you guys. And I know for any of you who've watched me for any length of time, right? Like this has been going on. We've been doing this for about a year or so. My connection to this has been a lot longer. Basically, I just didn't know what was going on. So, I think in the last video I talked about people graduating, and the thing about graduating is that there's just so much here. Okay, let's just talk through this. Let's see what the guidance is right now, because we're all in our own journey, right? We're all in our own path. There is resonance. There is sometimes you resonate with me, sometimes you don't, right? I have been in recent times, since the 1500s, in recent times, I have been definitely in a place of like, okay, most of you know that my original twin, has opted off the path. And that's because my journey here is about helping you understand what the journey is and what it is not, and keeping your eye on the ball, that really this is a spiritual path, right? And we talk a lot about the relationship, and I have tried to help reframe this whole thing, because, it is my awareness, my guidance, my understanding, and this is what I'm living. So I'll just tell you my story. How about that? I think that might help. Not speak in esoteric terms. Okay. I'm going to call my twin Michael. All right. Just because it's kind of generic. So, Michael and I met in 1993, and we both got married the same month. We both then ended up getting divorced the same month, 11 years later, in which case we came back together. And that was really the time when we came together. That was union. That was all kinds of insanely big energy, okay? It was so powerful. I mean, I literally moved out of the state. I literally ran away, okay? So I'm the runner. And the thing that was interesting to me was over the last 10 years of self-directed celibacy, with a notable person who came on my path in 2013 to 2016, and then that was a very toxic karmic situation, which I did escape. And what helped me to escape that was the idea that I'm going to marry myself. This is way before I ever started doing any of this stuff, although I've read tarot for 30 years. The tarot helped me to navigate out of that. I wasn't sure I could do it. I was, being stripped of my independence by a narcissistic partner. I was, from my car to, just everything. I literally was like, wow, I have nothing but myself. And my business was really faltering, and lots of things were happening like that. And I was like, no, you know what? This is either going to kill me, or it's going to put me on a path that is empowered. And as it turns out, really spiritual, because I chose me. And that is like the central message here for you, okay? I resisted the idea of that I couldn't do it and all of that kind of stuff. I resisted the idea of choosing one person as my twin. Oh yes, I know it's him. Because I was like, well, I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what was going on. And I've only come to understand that Michael was the twin. So as I went through this very karmic period, 10 years, 5 years, I spent 5 years in a little cottage in a town I grew up in with no television, right? It was an absolute monkdom. And remember, I don't know if some of you have seen the video where I talk about my twin who has chosen to be a monk, right? Chosen to be a monk. And there has been some things along my journey that has bumped me into the, hey, you know what? That's his choice, not your choice. You're channeling his choice. All right, that's when I did that with that 5 years of nothingness. I had, within 3 months in 2008, remember when 2008 happened, the banks fell off a cliff. I was working for a very large agency, and it went from 450 employees worldwide to 30 in a month. Okay, it was just like shed. So I was director of client service. I was fairly, I was almost a VP level. I was a senior director in that place. I'm still friends with the owner who sold it before 2008. Boy, that guy's smart. And it still exists. The agency still exists, but it's very different from when I was there. So I got a payout from them. I sold my house. I got a payout from them. So I spent, 5 years really doing nothing but sitting in my own journey. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. Nobody understood what was going on with me. And then this high school boyfriend appeared, the karmic appeared, and I recall, this was 6 months before I left, I recall sitting on the bed and looking out it was a January morning, and it was just one of those gray New England, like, are we ever going to get out of this winter kind of mornings? And I went through my checklist of, is it worth to stay, right? It was like, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this, I'm like, then why are you staying? Right? Like, what's the point? And what I was wrestling with was my own understanding of, oh no, you don't have to do anything. You can follow your own path, even if you're going to end up, cutting ties with this person. Everybody I grew up with was like, oh my God, it's so fantastic that you guys are together, right? There was this whole thing around it. He's a very narcissistic person, very karmic for me. And I pulled myself out of that. It took me 6 months, but by July, I had brought my independence all the way back with the help of some wonderful clients who knew me as a person, not just somebody who did something for them, not just somebody who made video for them. They helped me because I was willing to be vulnerable at a moment when I was being told, say something. You have to say something, right? You have to help yourself here. And it worked, and it helped me, and I got out of it. And in the last 3 years, I have just resigned myself to the idea that there is no partner. And so when I say to you guys, resist the idea of knowing who your twin is, because really the lessons here, if you're focused on the lessons of the relationship, you will resist the outcome because you're not seeing the true lessons, perhaps, that are coming across your path. So I got an email this morning from somebody. I want to thank you, Donna, because I am not staying in the place of only talking about twin union, simply because I am not talking about that all the time. I've moved off into talking about spiritual connection. I've moved off to talking about independence. And I've moved off into these other places that, isn't what drew you here. What drew you here is like, oh my God, the spiritual connection, right? Like, oh man. And what I want to share with you is like, the reason I'm doing tarot is it's a spiritual tool. It's a tool to help you, because it's really your intuition that's opening up to it. That's what the tarot is, a connection between you and source, right? You and your guides, you and whatever. So if you are not able to be a medium because you're like, I don't want to see dead people, or if you're an empath and you're Reiki or whatever you're doing, God bless, right? This is a way to help you, get out of your 3D box, get out of the matrix, all right? This is a way for you to do that. And when we want to put the twin journey into a box of, oh, we need to talk about it as X, Y, and Z all the time, meaning all I want to hear about is when am I going to have sex with this person, right? Like there's that. And I'm just like, that's not my job here, is to really just talk about that piece of it, okay? So I want you to understand that because I am not focused on the idea of union, because you know what? That will happen, but all of this other stuff is as, if not more important. I know it's not sexy. I get it, okay? I understand. I know it's not sexy to talk about gaining your independence or abundance or understanding that spiritualness and flow with the divine connection is abundance. God wants you to have money, all right? This is not like, but God also wants you to do something with it that is going to be beneficial on this planet. That's why people have abundance. When people go into the place of stuffing it in their mattress and not really using it for the greater good or for something that is you're being directed to do, that's when you get that flow jammed up. You got me? Y'all need to understand about flow and abundance. And we have been trained for, not just for decades, for centuries, that abundance is not spiritual. Do you know why that is? Because there is a certain amount of wanting to keep you guys in a box. Don't get too powerful. Don't start talking back to me, right? You need an other person. You don't need me to channel this. We are partners in this, right? This is not about need. This is about me here saying this is what I am learning, and some stuff resonates with you and some stuff doesn't resonate with you, and everybody here has their own journey. Some of you way ahead, some of you way behind, some of you, as I said in that last video 2 videos ago, about like, I don't like getting stuck on the idea of labels, because these are boxes. What can you see that you are creating your own experience? And the more I, realize that I'm going into boxes with you guys and making it like, oh, it's got to look X, Y, and Z, the less spiritual this path is. Okay, wow. So so this is just for you guys. I didn't put this video public because I feel like this is I really want to, you guys, please ask more questions on the forum. I feel like you're doing a great job of coming up with these like sticky issues and these weird questions and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like my path right now is to do videos like this, where I'm responding to specific issues here. There's questions of abundance in here. There's questions of like, oh, is this a money-making thing? And I'm like, well, that's a box. That's a 3D box that you're talking about. And I'm like, look, y'all deserve abundance. Y'all deserve for your gifts that you're here to do. Walking toward that north node, that's how you gain abundance in this world. That's what I have learned, okay? And not ashamed of it, to understand that abundance is something that helps me help other people, right? Helps me to be in my highest vibration. I had to get there first before anything started flowing, though. I had to get there first. That's the thing. You have to, we are in a time where we are opening up. 20th century was much more about like, well, I'll believe it when I see it. Here's the thing, and this comes from Esther Hicks. This is not me. This is from a lot of teachers that I also listen to. You got to believe it before you see it. You got to believe that it is coming. You got to, and you know what? Being attached to a specific person or experience, I'm telling you, I am on the path right now. I feel this partner coming in. He's already shown up, and it is the more magical than I ever could have experienced had I stuck myself on, it's got to be Michael, it's got to be this time, it's got to look like this. I let go of all of that when I started doing this. I let go of all of that. Yeah, okay? And the attachment, that's what the devil card is, the attachment to it, to your brain's picture. It's a real challenge to manifest and be specific without it being resistance at the same time. It's really difficult, and I'm going to recommend that you check out Aaron Doty and you check out Ralph Smart, who is Infinite Waters. Those two guys, whenever I get into low vibration and I am getting to the place where I am going to be doing more videos like them, those guys really have mentored me in terms of, you know, what I need to deliver for you guys. So I want to see that. I want you to help me understand, because yes, my message is, the message that has moved me most is fall in love with yourself, become whole in yourself, balance your masculine, feminine inside yourself. And all of this other stuff is a byproduct of that. The relationship, the abundance, the flow, the connection to other people, the high vibration that we're here to do. That's what we're here to do, is elevate the planet into higher vibration so the ascension can keep going. That's really what this is about. When you get so focused on a relationship that it's got to look like X, Y, and Z, and I want to be in commitment, but they're in karmics and stuff like that, I feel like there is a deviation from the work that needs to happen on this path. Okay, guys, so, wow. I really love this idea, because yesterday or the day before I did a video about sex and about intimacy. I have let go of all expectation. I know that we are also here to upend institutions that are keeping us in those boxes. This is a fairly radical idea. Just saying. Okay? So let me do a reading here for you. How long have you been chatting here, MJ? Okay, so let's do a reading here about the journey right now. And some of you may resonate with this and some of you may not. But if you resonated with what I'm talking about here, the abundance thing is really about your gratitude mission, your gratitude, and your abundance of sharing your own gifts with other people. You're here, you have gifts. And they don't have to just be spiritual. I know how to run a business. I know how to market stuff. I know how to do large-scale events. I know how to create television. I know how to create audience. All of those skill sets are necessary. Don't toss them away, right? Just because, oh, I'm on a spiritual path, those all things are necessary. So what are all of the things that you're necessary? That's why I talk about the North Node a lot. At the end, okay, so I'm also going to put something in. I was speaking to somebody else this morning about Jan Spiller, who does something called Cosmic Love. There is a website, and I know this is about relationship, but you get me. Cosmic Love, I feel like that's her website, Jan Spiller. Just Google Jan Spiller Cosmic Love. And she has a book. I might make a separate video about this. I don't want to rush it. It really is talking about the connection of your moon signs and your connection to another person and what the lessons are. That book, Cosmic Love, I have used it for many, many years. I think Jan Spiller might have passed away. I'm not sure. But they still, you know, she's still out there, just like Kate Spade is still out there, unfortunately. I miss Kate Spade. I'm so sad that she chose to leave this planet, just like Anthony Bourdain. Those two people, and Robin Williams, all those people have really impacted my life. So Jan Spiller, I'll make a separate video about Jan Spiller, okay, to tell you what this is about. But right now, let's just do a reading for you guys. Okay. This is about the twin journey. What is happening? What's happening? Okay. Yeah. You know, I really hate the pages. I just want to say, I'm not a huge fan, but you know what? The pages are about messages. I'm just always like, yeah, they're so little. Who cares? Yeah. Something big is shifting. My phone going? Okay. Something big here is shifting. And I'm just going to show you. Okay, so the card underneath is Chariot, which is about moving forward. fast, which is about moving, which is about on the path. All right, Cancer is we are in Cancer North Node right now. So when I talk about North Node, I'm talking about your particular North Node, but right now we're in Cancer, which is about love and home and hearth and feelings. It's a water sign. Okay, we're in that watery place, going toward feelings right now. So here's you, Page of Wands. There's seemingly a small message. Okay, you could come across, you're on this new path, because here's the situation right now, the sitch, Fool. On a new path, a small message of passion coming. That's twin flame. So twin flame is not a person. It's just like Santa Claus, okay? Oh, I love you, okay? Because I get all this, it comes through my brain. I just saw an image of Santa Claus, okay? It's like Santa Claus, all right? We all have this angst about kids at 7, 8, 9 finally figuring out Santa Claus is a real person. It's your parents. Santa Claus is the spirit of Christmas. It's a spirit. It's the same idea. We're trying to create a thing that it is so our brains, our 20th century brains, can wrap our head around it. Twin flame is an energy. It's a frequency. It's not a person. It's not that. It is this. Are you channeling the energy of this? Because that's what will come on this journey. The Fool. Some things have been cleared for you. Some things have been left. Some things have been left behind. I do see Scorpio. I see Leo. I see Cancer here. Water, fire. That's what Ralph Smart talks about. Water, fire, hot, cold, yin, yang, right? I love him. Infinite Waters. I really love him. Big shout out to Ralph. He's awesome. So this is the opportunity, which is the twin flame. And this is, okay, so the pages, which the universe is also talking in Page Talk this morning, messages to you, messages of clarity, messages of passion. And the pages are being in a learner's mind. So what that means is, you know how it is like when you're first learning something, it's enthusiasm, it's exciting, right? It's like you're open doors. You're just allowing something to come into you fully baked or fully, you're not resisting it. Sometimes when, if you've ever had the experience of taking a class in something you already know, like, when I went back to school, or I wanted to go back to school for a master's in journalism, and I had worked in the media already for 13 or 14 years. And I was like, seriously? Like, what is that master's going to tell me that I don't already know? So I was resistant to it, right? Because and it did have stuff to teach me. I was wrong about that. But I also know that being of this learner's mind is about the enthusiasm and passion. Okay? It's relinquishing and letting go of what you think you know about twin flame, and walking it fresh, walking the path fresh. I'm going to write that down. Sorry, I just wanted to write it down because, so I get to the end of these readings and I'm like, what did I just say? So this is about walking the path with fresh eyes. The pages from the universe are telling you, this is the message from the universe, okay? Which is, cut through your preconceived notions, right? That sword is way too big for that little page. There's way more information out here than you even can conceive of. All right, so you're gonna have to navigate this with your mind, okay? But more importantly, it's with your passion. It's with your child, your inner child. It's not with your grown-up mind that's already jaded and has these preconceived ideas about this person or this new person coming on. The universe is telling you, this is another message from the universe, that this person is going to burst on your scene, baby. There's going to be some leaving of something behind is going to be difficult. All right. I just want to say this because this is you, Six of Swords, and then there's a Five of Cups in your immediate future, which is like you might have to let go of ideas or a person or something. Eight of Wands, there's been a lot of communication from the universe to you. Are you listening? Are you listening? The universe is trying to talk to you and saying, you know, the hardest part here is about letting go of what you think you already know. Because the outcome and this is Sun and the Fool, fresh energy. Absolutely like being a baby. Being a baby, not even, I don't know nothing from nothing, right? All this stuff that you think you know. Getting blown up when the wish is granted. Getting absolutely freaking blown up because the wish is granted. When you walk this with fresh eyes, when you walk this path with fresh eyes, you are then delivered in the experience that is meant for you is then delivered. You don't even know how amazing this could be. You think you do, but you don't. For those of you who have already come in contact with your twin, you have some kind of inkling, but I still invite you to the universe is so much bigger than we can understand with our little brains, and our brains are so much vaster. We only access, 5% of our brain. I think geniuses access 5%. It's like 3% for the rest of us. So be willing to be a student. Be willing to be open to the things that can come across your path. And I am guilty of this too, okay? I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to be, doing my spiritual stuff and to hell with twin flame because it's this and that. No, not to hell with twin flame. To hell with the boxes that my brain creates. To hell with that, okay? There's something way better here, transformative. So this is the boxes your mind creates, the Eight of Swords, death energy coming through, leading you on this fresh path, okay? Some of you are going to leave some things behind. It is a fresh path. You got me? So let me see if I can get some clarity here. The Tower, clarity around, you know what? Let's use a separate deck, okay? The Tower here. Nine of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, Page of Wands. This is about communicating. Again, we got Eight of Wands and Page of Wands. I am seeing this as communicating, allowing the universe to communicate with you. Don't have preconceived notions of what this is. You don't know. Seven of Cups here. You don't know. All right? You don't really know. And you think you know, but you don't really know. And the universe is trying to talk to you and show you what this new journey is. I promise you, Nine of Pentacles. So that is single. That's being single. It's also being very confident in allowing the universe to talk to you, allowing the universe to bring in abundance, allowing, by actively thinking we know what it looks like, we are really blocking it because we cannot conceive of how amazing. I think there's in all different disciplines, all different religions, there is a sense of we are not even aware of the majesty of Spirit, Source, God, Allah, Jehovah, anything. We are not even aware. And a lot of the religions just keep you in that box. John Lennon talked about this, about the freedom, and that's where we're talking about here, the freedom of the true nature of God, Source, the universe is not about the boxes that man is trying to create to keep people in them. It is about freedom and love and joy and abundance and all of these things. Getting out of those boxes is really what this reading is about. This Five of Cups here. All right, you got two of the walking away from something cards. So, Eight of Cups here. Right, Eight of Cups. Yeah, walking away from waiting. From expecting, things are coming in. Yes. So moving from this energy of waiting into the surrender. That's surrender to me. That 3 of Wands right there is like, okay, you know what? I don't know jack. I'm going to surrender to the universe. Whatever is, que sera, sera, whatever will be, right? And trusting the universe. This is about trust. This is about trust. 5 of Cups here. Walking away from this behavior. Walking away. Empress. Oh my God, you guys, this is for you. Walking into that Empress and unconditional love. Are you serial? Look at that. That is what you're doing. You're leaving these mind constructs behind. Divine timing. Leaving these High Priestess. Holy shit. And then back to the Chariot with the Knight of Swords. Moving fast. Okay. Wow. King of Wands. Okay. So then that person can come in. You really do have to let go of the construct of what you think it's supposed to be like. See, you're sitting here looking at the tree. When are they going to come? When are they going to show up? When is union going to happen? When is it going to be about sex? When is it going to be about relationship? Please let that go and trust the universe that you don't even understand the majesty of what is showing up. That's what I am trying to do here, because you will overcome this. That's my job here, is to move you out of the boxes. You are walking toward this unconditional love. You first have to marry yourself. You first have to not give a shit about another person being the one who's bringing in love for you. It's not that way at all. It's you bringing in love for you so that other person can join you in that. Soulmate. Give it a chance. True love. Of course, of course, of course. Yes. Oh my God. It is safe for you to love. Some of you are dealing with third-party situations. Some of you are dealing with people who are deeply karmic. Some of you are focused on a situation. And what I believe this reading is telling you is it is safe for you to love. It is open your heart and give and receive the highest energy of all. It is about moving outside of the box of what it looks like and into something that is more spiritual. This is divine timing. When you do that, right? It's not about March or October or anything like that. There is, every single one of you has a divine timing node on your path about this. Every single one of you. And I'm going to say to you that moving into the place of trust and freedom and getting out of your own boxes is really what the universe is calling for you to do right now. It's like I'm the one telling you that Santa Claus is the spirit of Christmas. And so, yeah, that's destroying the lie we told you that Santa is a guy who comes down the chimney and wears a red suit and leaves presents. For those of you who do not celebrate Christmas, there's other lies that, right? I remember saying to my mom, I'm like, you lied to me. She's like, yes, since the day you were born, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, deal with it, right? Right? Yes, yes, yes. And that's because that's what society wants. They want us to have these are myths. These are parts of our culture. These are parts of the unity of the collective. This is about, not collective in terms of twin flame, which is what we're talking about remapping here. We're talking about societal structures that give us community, okay? And, you know, I do believe that religion had that standing, and I do believe a lot of twin flame stuff is about upending those things that are blocking the next iteration of what spirituality is going to look like. It's upending the institutions of things that are blocking true love, blocking true path, blocking wisdom, blocking us being in direct connection with God, us, all of those things, okay? That is part and parcel of what this twin is. I'm trying to open you. I'm telling you that Santa Claus is the spirit of Christmas. And what the spirit of Christmas is true love. What the spirit is for any religion who has, or religion or societal norm, whatever, I choose to move on the path of positivity around those societal conventions or institutions. Take the good stuff from them. Take the good stuff. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm never celebrating Christmas. I'm never celebrating Hanukkah. I'm never celebrating Yom Kippur or observing Yom Kippur. I'm never doing any of that. No. This is about, and same thing goes with the relationship. What does that look like? It might be very different than you expect. It might, and in many ways, and I'm going to say this to you because this is my learning and what I have been led to see. It's way more magical than we can conceive. So do yourself a favor and embrace this transformation, this walking away from stuff that is keeping you locked in fear, really keeping you locked in fear. Oh, they'll never show up, because they will. They will when you walk free of the stuff that keeps them blocked. Okay, Tower. For some of us, it's going to be a blast. For some of us, it's going to be more softer, you know? But at the end of the day, big happiness, big joy. Because that is the high vibration that we are moving toward. Okay, guys, this was like, I feel like now I need to take another shower. I hope this was helpful. And thank you, Donna, again, for reaching out and sharing. And, you know, I'm going to do more of this where I'm looking exactly what you're saying on the forum and responding to it. Okay? Much love to you.